another part of my influence, I listen to a lot of older music. Like people wouldn't believe me unless like you really was around me a lot. But like a lot of times, like if I'm in a whip by myself and ain't nobody else with me, I'm probably playing like 70s and 80s music.
Same way.
Like, oh, see, well, you already
I
know.
play at home. I'm blasting 87. Chic is one of my favorite.
Yup, fire,
Yeah.
fire.
What is up, you guys? Chandra here, creator of Sneak Vibe and Blog, Buffalo-based hip hop and R&B blog covering music in Buffalo and abroad. You know, we're doing our thing. Ran by women, powered by culture. You know what it is. New logo. I'm gonna get people to, or new whatever. We're gonna get people to say that so they know. But this is the first episode of Sneak Vibing Podcast, and I am pleasured to have a wonderful guest, boss man, Renaissance man, Jay Exodus in the building.
Hey man, what's going on, y'all? Quickster man. What's up, Chandra? How you feeling today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, man. Happy to be here. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
good day in Buffalo. So
Yeah, you flexing Buffalo. You got the Bills
I had
cap,
to come all Buffalo
the
today.
West Side
you
Gun
feel me?
hoodie.
I had to come crazy with the
Is that the
Liz 2.
recent drop? The
Liz
recent
2.
drop, the
Yeah,
Liz?
the Liz 2 hoodie. To be honest, bro, this is probably like my favorite piece he ever dropped. Like to me, this is just the hardest shit
Yeah.
ever. Like this is inspiring me. Like I can't wait to do my merch. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Speaking of merch, you run a store.
That is correct.
Super
That is
dope,
correct.
black-owned business in Buffalo, Ground Control.
Yes. Ground Control 716 on Instagram. You can catch us at 569 Elmwood Avenue. We specialize in everything sold out from Jordans to Yeezys to designer shoes, designer clothes. We got your Supreme, your Bape. We got these dope Liz 2 hoodies. Shout out West Side Gun. I mean, so yeah,
Dope,
man, check us
dope.
out.
Dope. Now, I know you as both a businessman and an artist, but I kind of want to get your origin story, like how you got started. Because I remember a while ago when we had came to your store. This is almost a year ago when we had came to your store for Black History Month last year.
Yeah.
And I had Kim, shout out to Eula, with
Shout
me,
out Kim.
and she was like, "Didn't I buy shoes from you?" So you've been selling shoes for a minute and
that
doing
was
that for So it
Yep.
seems like you've been an entrepreneur even before you had the store, all of that. So I just kind of want people to know more about you and your origin story.
So we just started off at kids in high school reselling
Yeah.
kicks. I mean, selling and trading kicks with other kids. Me and my brother Big Gates. Shout out Big Gates. I mean, from there, I had actually stopped with like the reselling and stuff just because I was getting into a lot of other things. I was getting older. I was working a corporate job and all this, just you get older, start doing other things. My brother, on the other hand, he kept going with it. Like he was looking at it. Like I was just looking at it at the time as we in high school, was something to make a quick buck. And it's something so that I could stay fresh all the time. I always got different kicks on because you feel me? I'm moving and shaking with it. But he just kept it going. Like he never stopped. And it's like, bro cut hair. And at the barber shop he was at, he would always keep like kicks in there. Cause you gotta think about it, like the type, you would never have the type of traffic that you'll see in a barbershop in one day. You got all types of people, from mostly males, right? But you got adults, little kids, teenagers, you feel me? People coming in there with their families, like, so it's like, it's great traffic. And like, he used that as a platform to like, just keep that going. And before you know it, like, I remember going in there, like you would go into the barbershop and it'll literally be like 2 racks just full of kicks though, just full of shoes, like almost like a store when you go in there, and like people are coming there to shop like often. And it's like from there we so that's what I want to say too. He's doing that. In the meantime, I'm over here and I'm doing music. I'm working on this craft. I'm just building, getting better and better. Pulling from different experiences and artists that I like to listen to. And it just came to a time to where we was like, yo, let's put this together. Like, let's put this together. Let's create a brand. Let's put the name on it, and let's grow this empire. So like, that's what we in the process of doing right now. It's been a year and some change. I mean, and
Only a
yeah,
year?
man, it's been beautiful. Yeah, officially for ground control, it's been a year and some change.
Wow, it feels so
Like,
much longer.
yeah, like we did a lot. Like we did a lot in a
Yeah.
small amount of time. So
Yeah. Now, kind of rewind back a little bit because you talk about, working on your craft.
yeah.
When, what was that moment that you were like, oh, I want to be an artist. Like, I want to be a rapper. I want to do this.
My first inspiration on rapping had to go back to Papoose in like '06, '07. It's like in high school. And me and like Alphabetical Slaughter. I remember listening to that for the first time, and that was like the craziest thing I had ever heard. And like after that, I started writing. Like I had my little notebook. I was writing my little bars and stuff. I rap verses for my friends in school and stuff like that. And then but I wasn't taking it too serious. It wasn't until about '09, 2010, like that Currency Wiz Khalifa era. Like Wiz was coming crazy. He dropped Cushion Orange Juice. That's probably like one of my biggest inspirations to this day. And like that was the moment where I was like, yo, I'm really about to do this. Like I'm about to do this for real. I mean, Currency was dropping tape after tape after tape. YouTube wasn't the biggest, like it was new for rappers to be on YouTube with high quality videos that were like, all in-house type shit. Like that was new. And those guys were doing that on like a very high level, from like music videos to like behind the scenes with Wiz Khalifa doing like the day-to-days, like, and all of that just inspired me. And after that, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm about to really get into this and do this. And from there, I started off as Quickster was my name, which you still see me here, Quickster, man. I say it in the ad-libs all the time. You feel me? That's like my little alter ego. My last name is Quick. So like it started off as that. And then as time went on, I changed the name to J Exodus. And like, but Quickster is always there still like in the background. I mean.
Dope. You know what's crazy that you said that, like Wiz Khalifa, Currency, they inspire you, because you give me LA vibes. And obviously you're not from California, but you give like that cool chill dude, like that. Just he just naturally got the swag. Like you don't got to try too much. And even you could tell with your rap music too. Like you got a certain flow where it's like casual, but it's nice, enjoyable, and you be sneaking some bars in there too, low key. If you really listening, you be like,
listening, definitely.
Shoot, okay. Yeah, and Wiz Khalifa kind of has that vibe too, so I could see the inspiration. But you definitely give that vibe. Like when I first met you, I didn't think you were from Buffalo.
Okay. People say that a lot. That's crazy, but. And I mean, and that might have something to do with the influence, because Wiz as well. Like Wiz is from the East Coast. Wiz is from Pittsburgh, but it's like most people always thought he was from LA.
No, I didn't know that.
Like, oh, well, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, so Wiz is actually a East Coast nigga too. At the end of the day, he's from Pittsburgh, but that sound was like, it gives you West Coast vibes a little bit, definitely.
Yeah. So you start making music. Now, you've been dropping like a lot of singles in the last couple of years. Have you put out any bodies of work? Like any, or even talk about your early projects if you have any?
Yeah, so back in 2017, I dropped a mixtape called Bills. And a mixtape, and then I shot this video. Excuse me. And I shot this video at a tailgate for like a Bills game. It was like just off the top. Like I really didn't even like, I planned it out, but like my plan was to go there and like just be like, yo, I'm shooting a video, y'all. Because I know how Bills Mafia is. You feel me? Like I know they gonna be with me. So I just went and did it, and it turned out great. We did like, I don't know, probably like 10K or something on Facebook. It had like mad shares, probably like a couple hundred shares. Like at the time, it wasn't a lot of people really doing that locally with like no extra help or nothing like that. So like that was probably my first like big thing where I was like, okay, I know what I got to do now. Like I really could take this shit to the next level. So, and then the mixtape just rang off so crazy. Like I had hard copies back, and this was like 2017. We're going into that era now where people are not really using CDs so much. That's like right at that cusp where it was ending. But man, we sold probably like 2,000 copies of that joint. Wow. I had a little street team I was working with at the time, just around the town and getting them around. And it was like a lot of people like that tape a lot. So it's like that. Like right now, it's like you would either have to have a physical copy or like you could probably find it on SoundCloud or something. I mean, I did a
Gotcha.
couple other mixtapes I had. Some stuff that's not even available to listen to no more because it's just like, it's old and just kind of outdated. But as far as what I'm doing now, right now you can go on all streaming platforms, whatever's your choice, Spotify, Apple Music. Check out my last EP I dropped earlier in the year, 2044, HTC2 2044. You could check that out. And then I got like a bunch of singles too on there.
Yeah.
And then the YouTube, Ground Control 716 on the YouTube. I got a bunch of like
So
crazy
much.
visuals on there. Like definitely you could go and check those.
One day I had, because I think y'all did a freestyle with 14 Mafia. And I'm huge fans of 14 Mafia.
Shout out
yeah.
14, man.
Yeah. Now, are you
I'm like-
mentoring them? Because it seems like you're kind of like, you're kind of like, kind of helping them and priming them a little bit. And I like to see that. Yeah.
They would have to tell you if I'm a mentor to them. I feel like they would have to say that. But they might say that. I mean, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, them like my little bros. I mean, them is literally like my little brothers. Like, I definitely try and help them boys out as much as I can. Get my little input and stuff. Try and just make sure they don't go through some of the same little errors and mistakes that I already been through, that I know they could just hop over, skip, and avoid altogether. So yeah, and then just as far as the music too, like I'm always doing music with those guys. They're dope. Like 14 Mafia, like they're like my top three in the city, like local artists. 14 Mafia is definitely in there.
Their potential is out of this world, and they're good dudes too, and great. Always perform, always bring the energy. So consistent with their performances. Like that's one thing I kind of stress with Buffalo artists. Like you can have good music too, but you got to make sure those performances match up and that you're consistent with it. And their consistency is out of the roof. Their talent and quality is out of the roof too. So I'm proud of them. I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, man, that's important. That's very important.
But I went to. You had posted that you guys did a Ground Control freestyle with them, and I went to y'all YouTube, and then I just started watching all of y'all videos, and I'm like, yo, even you have so many dope music videos.
Thank you.
And just so much dope content, and it's like, y'all are because we have so much talent in Buffalo. The thing is that I think sometimes we don't capture the moments, like we be in the moment, which is good, but we have to capture these moments like, you see this talent? And that's what I try to do with Sneak Vibing, but
man,
you guys
we appreciate it. You trailblazing. Like,
thank you.
This is like historical what you're doing. I feel like nobody has really done what you're doing in Buffalo before. So like, that's great.
Thank you. It's been a road. It's been beautiful seeing the talent in Buffalo, and I'm glad I'm able to witness such greatness before it becomes, gets to a whole nother level. I can experience those starter moments. But
absolutely.
I was looking at y'all YouTube and like y'all got so much dope content on there. The freestyles, everything. You guys are kind of ahead of the curve with that for Buffalo. Like getting that content out that's just dope.
And it's funny because like, okay, so we start doing the freestyles. Excuse me. We started doing the freestyles early this year. At the time, I don't
in 2022, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you know what?
Right. We just hit the new year.
Chandra. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think. Was that 21 now? I'm thinking. I think 22 though. Top of 22, we started doing the freestyles. At the time we started doing that, I don't remember seeing a lot of other people doing that. And I'm not just talking about locally. I'm talking about just everywhere. And it was like about 6-7 months into it, I remember getting on Instagram. And it was like all of a sudden everybody was doing this thing now. Like it had became like a phenomenon. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Not to say that everybody saw our stuff, like, because of course,
but y'all were definitely ahead of the
I'm
curve.
like, wow, yeah, like it's just dope to know that we were literally like one of the first doing that. You feel me? And then like to see it turn into a big thing to where like that's a big piece of content, part of content for like artists now.
Yeah.
Like everybody's doing that now. I'm like, oh wow, this is crazy. It's just let me know that we are, our thought process and the ideas we have, like they really be solid.
Y'all got some historic freestyles too. The 38 Special freestyle.
38 went crazy.
Insane.
38
And
went
whoever
crazy.
edited that piece, y'all did a great job. Like there's this part where he's like, he says this one bar and there's like this angle. Because I'm big with not only the talent, but like the visuals of it. And there's just
Yeah.
like one angle where he's like, it's like a godly like angle, and he's just spitting this bar, and I'm like, yo, this is so fire. I had to run that back, that 38 special joint
I
back.
think
And
you
you got a
talking about
song
that
with him
part.
too,
It's
right?
a part. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's a part of that freestyle where it go from like the front of his face to like the side. And when it
Yeah.
go to the side view, he just say something crazy. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh shit. Like I think
Yeah.
that's the part you was talking about. But yeah, 38 is crazy, man. I definitely had the pleasure of sparring with bro in this record. Man, I just had to make sure he ain't eat me up on that.
You was
joint.
spitting
38
too.
coming crazy.
You was spitting too. I was like, nice. And it was
Yeah.
a
Oh, I had
CG
to.
production.
Yup, CG production. I had to keep it
Nice.
all, you feel me, all upstate New York on that one. Shout out my boy CG on the beat. Yeah, man, that record was crazy, bro. Like I don't know. I just remember saying, oh yeah, I gotta come crazy with this. And what it is too, I'm glad I got to do that record because a lot of people just from listening to the majority of my music didn't know I really could rap like that. Like, but like that's how I started off when I first started rapping was like that, you know. So it's like it was just something that really helped show off my versatility. I'm definitely gonna have more of that style of music come out in the future. But up until that point, a lot of people didn't know I could rap like that.
I will say too, I've never seen you in that light. Like I've seen you, like I said, you have that chilled, laid back kind of like LA vibe.
Yeah.
But when you came with that energy, that East Coast
Yeah, East Coast,
flavor, I was like,
boom
okay.
bap. Like it's
and
in
you was
me.
spitting too.
Yeah.
So that was a nice change up, and it did definitely showcase your versatility.
And I love the boom bap stuff because like another part of my influence, I listen to a lot of older music. Like people wouldn't believe me unless like you really was around me a lot. But like a lot of times, like if I'm in a whip by myself and ain't nobody else with me, I'm probably playing like 70s and 80s music.
Same way.
Like, oh, see, well, you already know.
At home. I'm blasting 87. Chic is one of my favorite.
Yup, fire.
Yeah.
Fire. Like, man, like music is just not that level. That type of music they was making at that time, like the frequency was different. Like Luther Vandross, anyone who had a heart, like the beat on that is crazy. Like you feel that shit in your soul. Like
I gotta check that one out.
Like you feel that joint in your soul. But it's so many joints. But I listen to a lot of older music, so like that definitely also influences what I do, and I think that helps me to stay like very original. It helps me to stay to like my own sound. Like it's kind of hard to compare me to other artists, like as far as like who do I sound like.
Yeah.
But I think that's definitely a big part of that.
Yeah, you definitely stand out. And when you talk about originality, for sure, because your style and approach to your music is definitely different than a lot of the other artists in Buffalo. And I think also too, just because I feel like our hip hop community is just starting to trying to figure it out. You know, we got Griselda who kind of is setting a foundation for us so that we can catapult and do all different type of things, but you definitely have always had your, own wave and own style. But what you're doing with your music and then also with your business and then kind of converging the two is really just you kind of creating your own platform, like to do whatever you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm glad you see the vision because that's definitely what it is.
Yeah. It's super dope. So you've released a couple recent singles. I'm going blank right now, but you had one joint that I really like. It's you and I forgot his name.
Somebody else on it, Young Daisy.
No. You're the only one rapping though. Like y'all on it looks like y'all on a roof or something.
Oh,
that joint was fire.
So that one was actually so this is funny because people do this all the time. People be telling me like a lot of your songs sound like it's you featuring you, like two different people, but it's you. That's actually only me on that song. Like you like the third person that said that. And I'm like, that's interesting. But Kush-Ups, you talking about.
Kush-Ups, yeah, that's what it is.
Kush-Ups, yep. Yeah, we shot that out in LA. It's funny because I wasn't even supposed to shoot that video that day. Like, I was at a location. I was waiting for some people to pull up to shoot a different visual. And in the meantime, Dude shot the video, was like, hey, there's a we just kind of bored. He like, yo, there's a helipad on the roof. You want to check it out? And I'm like, okay, sure. Go on the roof. I'm like, yo, this is dope. Some other guy from the building comes up there and he's like, hey, he's like, you guys about to shoot a video? He like, well, I got I got a French bulldog and some weed. He wanna
Are
use
you
it for the vid.
serious? Like,
Yeah, like I
that's
wasn't
fake.
even in Buffalo. Like I was out in the middle of LA somewhere, like
That's
random,
fake.
like with a bag of clothes and a rental car. Like, and dude just came with the props. Like, I'm like, yo, the ancestors really be working. So yeah, we shot the video,
Wow.
and like that ended up being one of my favorite videos that I
Yeah.
shot this year. Ended up being that. So
That joint was fire.
a fan
Definitely check
favorite
that
too.
out.
Yeah,
Cush
man.
Ups. I shared that
Check
on
up
Sneak
Kush
Vibing
Ups.
because that video was
Thank you.
dope.
Thank
The
you.
song was dope too. Super fire. So I was gonna ask too. Do you feel like with your business, it kind of has made way for you to like kind of take advantage of your music career too? Because you're connecting with all of
Hmm.
these businesses, and it's kind of it's parallel. Sneakers, hip hop
It
culture.
is. It is. It's
Yeah.
all in the culture. That's another reason why when we decided to do this, we went of the angle of merging the two brands together because they both just coincide with each other so well.
Mhm.
So it's like, at the end of it all, those are both going to like overflow into each other. They're
Yeah, yeah,
definitely pouring into each other. So yeah, that was definitely strategic in doing that. And it's dope because it helps a lot with networking. Like I get to meet a lot more people from in the store, from the sneaker conventions, like the sneaker cons and sneaker exit. Like those are like, I love it. I love them. I mean,
yeah,
so yeah, man, it definitely all connects.
yeah. That's dope. That's dope. So you just put out a new single. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
going blank with these titles, man. But
Nah,
you just put
sorry.
out a you just put out a new single,
Yup. Man, I almost forgot the name of it myself for a second. Sport. I
Sport.
just put out Sport. So that's the single to the album. I have an album called Jaywalking. It's on the way.
Okay,
It'll be
okay,
out by
okay.
next month. I'm gonna have a date soon, a release date very, very soon. But Jaywalking. That's the first single off Jaywalking. I didn't even release the song like on streaming platforms yet. Like you have to go check the video out basically to hear the
Yeah,
single. But the song will just be released with the album when the album comes out. So
cool. The
yep,
video is cool too.
yep.
Yeah, I watched it this morning, so
Thank you, thank
that's fire. So this project. So you haven't really you released the EP earlier this
you.
or in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So you're releasing a full length project this year.
Yep.
What can people expect? Are a lot of the singles you've been releasing, not just Sport, but the other ones, are they on this project or are there?
A couple of the singles on there. Cross the Map, that's on
Mm-hmm.
there. Uh Kush Ups is on there. And I think that's it. The rest of them, yeah, that's about it. The rest of them would be all new records. So
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be about 13 records on there.
Nice, nice, solid number.
Oh man, the production is crazy. Like I was saying earlier, I'm a big fan of like older music. So like
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to bring back that thing where it's like, you remember how the old songs would be like at the end of the song, it'd just be like a crazy
Breakdown.
instrumental breakdown and
Yeah,
solo at the end. And they just be going crazy. It might be like an extra 2 minutes. And like
yeah.
it'd end up being your favorite part of the song. Like I wanted to bring that element back. So
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot of like breakdowns and outros. I had an artist, Rob Bonner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I had
yeah.
Rob
Shout
Bonner
out
do a
Rod Bonner.
couple. He did like a few outros on there, a few little cuts of the instruments on the end. So it's gonna be dope, man. From the production to the features, it's packed with like industry features, dope local features. Like I don't even gonna spoil it. Like y'all see when the track list come out, but
Nice,
like I'm
nice.
excited. I'm very
What was
excited.
the music making process for this album that's gonna come out?
Man, it was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of hard work because um some of the artists I work with are in different places. It's difficult when you gotta send stuff to people and people gotta
Mm,
send verses back to you, and like you having different sessions here and here and here, and you gotta like at the end of the day, you gotta bring all this back together to make it sound like it was all done together. So that's probably been one of the most difficult parts rather of the process. But it's been fun though, man. It's been dope.
Yeah.
Like the artists that I got to work with for this project, a few artists that I had never worked with before. And yeah, it's been a journey. It's definitely been a journey. Taking stuff out, adding stuff. It's frustrating as hell putting together a full LP, dude. Like it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, it's very rewarding. So yeah, we right at the end. I actually just recorded the last song last night.
Wow.
For it. So
wow.
we just about to wrap it up, the mix and master on it, and then it'll be coming soon.
Now, are you producing on this, or do you have?
I wish. That's my next step. I want to learn how to produce. I will learn how to produce at some point in time. But for now, no. I had a few. Who's on this?
Any local producers you can mention?
That's what I was trying to really get to first. Local producers. No local producers on this one. No local. That's interesting. Because my next project I'm working on is quite a few on there. But yeah, no local. I had beats. Like I said, there was a lot of adding and taking out and adding and taking out.
Yeah.
Originally, I definitely had a few locals on there. But those records just end up not fitting quite on the album. So they'll have different placements on different projects. So.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So you must be loading the clip because you said you about to release a project, but you're working on another one.
Yeah, definitely. I got like 3 projects on the way. So it's Jaywalking. That's the one that I got coming up soon. And then I got a project with Jay Worthy, Jay's Way. That's coming like later on this year. Shout out Jay Worthy, man. My brother Jay Worthy. We got that one coming up probably around like the summertime. And then I also have part 2 to 2044. That's gonna be dropping like end of the winter type. It's gonna be like more like soul tape vibes. So that's where I'm gonna get into more like my boom bap, like Soul Train is on there with 38 Special. That record's on there. I'm gonna get more into that bag with that. It's so like the way I did the 2044 albums is really like a side A and a side B. The part I dropped already, like the EP that you could check out now, that's side A, where it's like the future. Like if you listen to it, a lot of the sonics and the production is real like futuristic sounding. Even some of the topics that I talk about, from the melodies, all of that. So part B is going to be the past. So it's going to have more of that boom bap. I mean that old school samples, stuff like that on there. So.
Yeah. Now I take you as someone that is a little bit of a curator too, because even Ground Control, you guys pick out artists from the town, have them freestyle. You have your own original style and flavor, so I'm sure you have some perspectives and even opinions on just the current state of hip hop, not just nationally but also locally as well. What is your perspective of Buffalo hip hop right now?
Okay, so Buffalo. We'll start with Buffalo. Okay. Buffalo, it's so much. I'm gonna start by saying this. I'm gonna start with the positive. There's so much talent here. Like, there's so much talent. Like, it amazes me sometimes. I'll go to some of these little showcases and stuff, and it'll be these artists that I've never heard before, and they be so dope. I'll be like, where have you been? Like, it happens all the time. So it's like, we have a ton of talent here. We need to learn how to work together. Buffalo.
Yes.
Where the cameras at? Right here, Buffalo. We need to learn how to work together. Like, that's a big issue with Buffalo. You go to certain cities like Atlanta. I always use Atlanta for example. You'll go to Atlanta, go to a studio session. You might be in a session A room. You in there recording. In session B across from you, there's another artist recording a song. You get up to go to the bathroom or something. He walks by and hear your record playing. He might be like, yo, that's hard, bro. He might come in there, listen to it, put it on his Instagram, play it.
Yeah.
Let me hop on this, bro. You mind if I get on this? Yeah, hop on a record. Vice versa. Like, it's just so much camaraderie. And it's like, they understand the concept of everybody can win. Like,
yeah.
we all can win, and like we all can win a lot faster if we work together. So it's like that's just a mindset. You know, it's a small, poor city, so it's like that type of energy is just kind of natural to be in the air. But that's something that I think if we can work on and really get better at that as a whole, it'll be a lot. Like the Buffalo music scene to explode a lot bigger. It's happening though. It's exploding, but like it'll speed up a lot.
Yeah, yeah. We're definitely getting there. Like I hear stories of before I even got introduced to the scene, because it was like I think 2018 for me. But I hear stories way before then where I'm glad I wasn't really in it early on, because it was people was beefing, crews was beefing with each other. So, you know, I feel like overall they've a lot of the artists that especially that started back, you know, 10 years ago, they've come a long way. But we still do need a bit more unity, you know.
Absolutely.
And just appreciating each other's talents, coming out and supporting,
That's
coming to
a big
events, things
That's
like
a big
that.
one.
You
Yep.
know, not leaving after you do your set. That I don't know, that bothers me a
That's a
little bit. Like if you're
huge
on a bill, don't leave after you. You know,
That's a huge one.
Stay support the artist. That's
I'm
just my
guilty
little.
of that sometimes. Now I
Yeah.
try. I'm conscious of it though, so I try my
yeah.
best not to do it. But
Obviously, if you have like an emergency or something, but
yeah,
I'm like,
you gotta stay in support, man.
yeah,
You got to.
yeah.
Sometimes I be in my little antisocial moods and I be wanting to get up out of there real quick. But for the most part, majority of the time, I stay in support. I be the dude in the front of the crowd, like hyping up whoever, you feel me, whoever performing now. So
yeah, dope. Now we talked about local. What is your perspective national? Just the hip hop scene and where you see it going.
So I'll break it down in a couple parts. The women's hip hop right now, like the women's hip hop scene is exploding crazy right now, and it's like I see it and I understand it. I feel like certain people, like I hear guys say a lot of time, like, "Oh, I don't really like this artist or that artist because of what she's talking about." But it's like there's been like for years now, like hip hop has been real like misogynistic and like male dominant. You know, it's always like that male dominant patriarchal type of thing. And it's like, man, it's just a different, it's women's time right now. Like we in the age of Aquarius. It's like, it's their time. Like they're expressing their femininity on a high level now. It's like, it's almost like balance is coming into it now. There's balance. Not saying that you about to catch me in the whip bumping Ice Spice, but you might catch me in the whip bumping that Glorilla joint though. Like, you feel me? Like it depends on, you know, what it is personally, like if I'm a personally listen to it, but it really don't matter like if I personally like the record or not. Like I love what's happening right now. Like I understand what's going on and I think it's dope. So like, yeah, I feel like it's great. I feel like that's just pushing hip hop further in the right direction.
Yeah. Anytime you allow people that typically aren't, that haven't been able to express themselves in any art form, and you give them the opportunity to, it's good for everyone. Because then that means there's more opportunities to express yourself no matter who you are, no matter what you look like. It's just you're opening it up for everybody to create the art that they want to. So, and I feel like it's needed. Like now listening to all these female artists now, it's like, how did we go so long with male dominated, you know.
Cause it would be shut down. You feel me? It'd be, you had your Foxy Browns and
Yeah,
and
of
them,
course.
like, and Lil Kim's and shit. They kind of got their stuff off, but
Nicki Minaj had a hell of a
she did
run.
too.
I think she's a little bitter now, but that's another story.
Yup. But now it's like, man,
we got so many.
I hear that F-R-E-E. I hear that in the club. I'm like, hey, let's go. It's like
Glorilla is y'all
like,
Achilles heel. Like y'all love some
Yo.
dudes love Glorilla.
I like her a lot.
Yeah.
Dope artist. But yeah, man, I love to see it. I love to see it.
Yeah.
I'll say now, as far as hip hop as a whole right now,
Mm-hmm.
I like to see that there's so many different styles of hip hop that's being accepted. I feel like there was like a short era to where like people was like, and now I feel like people are giving more respect to like, cause you got like your rock style rappers and you got your emo rappers and you got like, it's just so many different.
Now, some people, I'm gonna just play devil's advocate a little bit because
Yeah.
this is what I hear. Obviously, I don't agree with it, but this is what I hear, and I try to understand. You have a lot of rap purists now, that feel like that type of hip hop is diluting, hip hop. Where I feel like what's happening is that, everything gets commodified. So they're gonna play like the poppy hip hop stuff on the radio because they know that's more universally accepted. So I feel like if you really love hip hop, you're not gonna listen to what's just playing on the radio. You're gonna find your favorite artist. I mean, Griselda's a perfect example of that. You're gonna
Yep.
find the artist that you enjoy. Not saying that that's the only hip hop you got to listen to, but you're gonna find find what you want.
Absolutely. I agree. I
Yeah.
definitely agree.
So
There's so much out there, man. There's so much out there. But it's yeah, I feel like we really pushing it to the limits right now as far as like creativity. So I'm gonna say this. So like the drill music, like this whole
yeah.
New York drill scene that just kind of popped up out of nowhere.
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of it. Like when I first heard of it, I hated it. But now I'm even starting to have an appreciation for some of that because I'm seeing more creativity in it now. Like, have you heard what they like some of the samples that they pull in for like some of these beats?
Crazy.
It's like,
I just saw a kid take Gautier, somebody I used to know, and make it
yeah,
a
I
drill
heard
beat,
that
and
one.
I was just
I
like,
heard it.
"What?
Yeah.
Y'all are insane." You know what? I was watching. B Dot, who
Yep.
does his top 10 list. He gets under fire every year around
He
this
ain't
time
put
for
no
his top 10.
Griselda in there,
He didn't
man.
put
What's
no
wrong with you,
Griselda
B-Dot?
at all, and I feel like both West and Benny had a great year. But
Yeah, they
anyway,
did.
that's another story. But he was on his live and he was talking about how drill sucks, and I'm like, really? For somebody that got all these polarizing opinions, I wouldn't think that you would say drill
Yeah.
sucks, but it is what it is. I was surprised by that. But I feel like drill has its place.
It does. It
It has
has
its
its place.
place.
That's why I would never say like it sucked, but it's like, it's not for me. It's not what I would
Mm.
listen to, but I still respect. And like I said, I'm having more respect for it now because like these new young producers and most of these like people producing these records are young kids. Like they between
Yeah.
the ages of like 16 and 19 and they going
Yeah.
crazy. So it's like that's dope.
And a lot of this is for dancing too. Like I've seen, hip hop and dancing has always been a huge
Hmm.
thing too. But the dancing and the sturdy, getting sturdy, all of that,
Yep.
they're making them the soundtracks to like what they want to dance to. So that I think that's kind of dope. I think that's kind of
Yeah.
dope. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, other than that, you talked about the three projects you're gonna plan to drop this year. Anything that we should know about? Anything new? You still got ground control. Any new freestyles you thinking coming out?
So I definitely have a ground control freestyle coming soon. Everybody keep asking me why I didn't do one yet. Like
I was gonna ask, have
everybody
you ever
keep
did one?
asking.
I don't think
Nah,
I've
I
seen you
didn't.
do.
I just cleared the way for the other artists. Like, I don't know. When we did that, like it wasn't really about me. Like, I just wanted to get other people a little platform to shine on. I mean, but yeah, I'm definitely got one of those coming soon. Um Also be looking out for the live performance. I'm gonna be doing a 2044 The Experience live soon with a band.
Nice. Oh, that would be
I'm
nice.
not gonna get into the detail of the way we're doing it is very unique. Like, but I'm gonna say that part. I'm not gonna get into detail of how we're doing it, but it's gonna be like a small, little intimate setting, 30, 40 people. I mean, so be expecting that soon, sometime around the time when I drop the album.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you were gonna do like a listening party or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. A separate listening party. I'm gonna do a
Mm-hmm.
small listening party. We gonna sip some champagne and eat some mangoes and stuff, and check
Shout
the
out to the
album out. So
mangoes.
shout out to the mangoes, man.
Came through with the mangoes. Gotta keep it
Always,
fresh,
always. You feel me? Gotta stay
clean.
healthy.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, it was dope to have you. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me, Chandra.
For sure,
This
for
has been
sure, for
nice. I
sure.
like this. I
Make
like
sure y'all
this.
follow Ground Control. Plug yourself, Let the
Hey,
people
follow
know.
Ground Control on Instagram at Ground Control 716. It's Ground Control 716 on Facebook as well. Follow me at J_Exodus. JAY_EXODUS. It's J Exodus on all streaming platforms. You can look me up on YouTube. Like I said earlier, I got some dope visuals out. And be on the lookout for that Jaywalking album. Oh, last but not least, sport video out now. I just dropped a video last night. Type in J Exodus Sport in YouTube.
Super
Check
dope
it out,
too.
man. Leave a comment.
Yeah, super dope. Love
Thank you,
that
thank you.
video. And you are tuned in to Sneak Vibin'. Hashtag keep on vibing. Ran by women, powered by culture. You know how we do it. Shout out to Revelry House, High Peaks. We in here.
Hey,
Peace.
shout out my boys.